And we're about to go for lights out for round 1 of the Missed Apex Formula Renault 2.0 Challenge. Green flags, they are away for the first round, and Alexander Devinsberger moves over to the right-hand side immediately, but he has got his lead secure. But he's locked up and he's hit Gregory Leader on the way into the first corner. Contact between the two men from the front row immediately as Philpott takes the lead ahead of David Hatton. No, Hatton has swept round the outside to take the lead around at Williams' men. There's Tim Ellis, who's just taken 3rd place. Yep, Tim Ellis trying to get down the inside, but Philpott sees him coming and is able to defend that 2nd position. And off goes Shelley on the exit of the hairpin corner. He's off and out of that 4th place, and that promotes Wingfield and Lang, who are still going side by side. A couple more cars struggling to get round those 2 left-handers.
That's it. So at the final corners here, Philpott is putting the leader under pressure. It was poor Devinsberger. He was a sitting duck there, and we were saying how bad these brakes are, how tricky they are to get them right. Cold tyres, cold brakes, and just locked up from behind and just punted him straight off.
And so at the end of the first lap of this new championship, David Hatton leads the way ahead of Bradley Philpott, Tim Ellis in 3rd place. And there's a bit of a gap back to James Wingfield as the leaders are making their way through the Moss S and down towards the Atwood curve for the 2nd time. And Philpott looks like he's going to try and find a way through. He was really strong in that 3rd sector on the opening lap, and but I feel like Hatton's just got him covered on this occasion. Hatton, meanwhile, moving over to the right-hand side, and Philpott following him like a stalker as they go down the pit straight. Just 4 tenths between them as they came over the line, and Philpott looks like he's really finding his feet with this car.
Yeah, it's much closer than 4 tenths now as they're coming down the straight into another heavy braking zone. Is he going to make a lunge?
Yep, he does indeed. He's going for it, and they are wheel to wheel. Hatton's going to try and fight him around the outside, and they're going to go wheel to wheel down the back straight. But I think Hatton has just got the momentum on him. Yep, Philpott tucked back into the slipstream. Meanwhile, Lang and Wingfield are still going hammer and tongs over 4th place. But here comes Philpott trying to challenge down the outside into the hairpin corner. You can make a move around the outside there work if he could just get some punches out on that curb. He's got the inside line for revolver corner. Oh, they're so close on the way in, and Hatton takes a little bit of gravel on the outside of the corner, but he has defended that lead. But there was about half a second as they came over the line. I think Hatton feels like he's under pressure here down this back straight. He's moved back onto the racing line.
It is. There are a couple of lines through Atwood. You can keep it tight and you can get a better drive, or you can lunge in and get a wider exit, but it does compromise your exit.
James Wingfield has fallen out of the battle for 4th place, so John Lang has secured that position. Not sure what happened to him down in there. Maybe a little bit of contact or a drama between those two, but Lang very much secured in 4th place, although he has got Sam Watley for close company. Spanners, meanwhile, we can see him. He has moved up the order as well to 8th place with Trumpets in close proximity. These two are going absolute hammer and tongs. Bit of a gap to John McClintock ahead of them. But these two having a nice little squabble in their little personal battle for podcast supremacy. Meanwhile, that battle for 4th place is hotting up as Sam Watley continues to attack John Lang. Lang has had to be looking in his mirrors and looking ahead of him left, right and centre during this race after his early battle with James Wingfield. It doesn't look like Watley is close enough for an attack.
Let's go to Spanners ready. Spanners, can you hear us? You're live on air. How are you getting on in your battle there with Trumpets?
Hi, very, very tense battle here. And I think Trumpets, actually, his race pace is faster. I'm trying to be consistent, and he is making the odd mistake, but he's quicker, so he's on my back, and it's a horrible position to be in. So I'm just trying to keep it on the track, and I think I am trusting him not to run into the back of me, and I'm glad it's my friend and not someone like, I don't know, no, I'm not going to slag anyone else off.
So Carl Power from, he's fallen down the order. Oh, car off, and made contact there with Danny Silver as well. Oh, and up over on his side there. Bit of contact and drama down at the 2 hairpins. Hatton had 9 tenths of a second over Philpott on that last lap as we got another car going off right in front of the leaders, and Hatton has had to really slow up, and Philpott has caught right up with him. This could be Philpott's one opportunity to take the lead of the race, and they are side by side coming down the back straight, and this time Philpott crucially has the inside line for the next right-hander coming up down towards the hairpin corner. Is he going to be able to get it slowed down when he gets there? Has Hatton got any kind of an advantage? He's locking up. Hatton is forced out wide. He's trying to hang on into this one, but he's out wide. He's still got the inside line though for the revolver corner. Lock up from the pair of them. Philpott now trying to force his way around the outside. He's got it. Philpott takes the lead.
Wow, that was so close. They were wheel to wheel for a good 3 or 4 corners there. Philpott, that was stunning. He took advantage of that mistake from the back marker. That's gutting for Hatton.
Yeah, absolutely terrible timing for David Hatton, who in maybe a little bit of frustration gets the back end out as they exit Hobbs corner. Has he got any kind of a rebuttal as we enter now the final lap, coming down the pit straight now? 1 lap for Hatton to try and reclaim his lead and make history in Missed Apex Motorsport as the first winner of the Formula Renault Challenge. Although it doesn't look close enough. 0.6 of a second was the gap as they came over the line. Certainly not close enough to have a challenge into Atwood Curve, it would seem. So they're coming around Williams, and he'll try and slipstream in through the Mosses and towards the Atwood Curve. But perhaps he's running out of opportunities now. Philpott just has to keep it neat and tidy and hope no pack markers get in his way. But what a thrilling battle these two have put on for the first race of the Formula Renault Challenge. And it looks like we will have Tim Ellis, who despite John Lang really closing in on him in these closing stages of the first race, will be on the podium in that number 14 car. So here comes Bradley Philpott coming around the final 2 corners. Around that final right-hander and back on towards the pit straight. He makes Missed Apex Motorsport history as the first winner of the Formula Renault 2.0 Challenge, with victory ahead of David Hatton, a dejected second after a brilliant performance and a battle with Philpott there. Tim Ellis takes 3rd, John Lang 4th, and Sam Watley in 5th place. And between Spanners and Trumpets, Spanners is the one who comes out ahead from 13th to 8th.
And a quick update on our pole man. He dropped down he recovered to 12th in the end. So that is a good performance despite that first corner off. I think he was very near the back of the field. So that is excellent from Derbytsburg.
Brilliant job. And Steve Ficacci, the man who had a really big struggle in qualifying, makes a top 10 finish. So good recovery drives all round from these guys. Green flag is up, and it's a clean start from the front row, and it looks like Gary Thomas has got the edge as they go down towards the first corner. McCulloch's going to follow him through, and Jared Carey trying to get round the outside and take 2nd place. Nice move there as Robert McCulloch now coming under pressure from Todd Lazarov and Lucas Wallace, who's now gone into 3rd place. Oh, but Wallace has just spun at Williams, and there's absolute carnage on the exit of the corner. But meanwhile, Todd Lazarov and Adam Rosales make it through safely, with Gary Thomas leading the field ahead of Jared Carey. 3rd place, and really, really close battle there between a few cars. Todd Lazarov currently leading that one as they head down towards the hairpin and the back straight. Oh no, Gary Thomas has gone off from the lead of the race. He's spun between Revolver and Piper Corner, and so that now means we have Jared Carey in the Tag Heuer colours leading the way for this reverse grid race 2 that we have. So at the end of lap 1, he is going to have a mighty advantage over the rest of the field. Meanwhile, Todd Lazarov still leading this battle for 4th place. Wingfield now trying to get his nose up alongside Gregory Leader as they head down towards the hairpin. Leader making a challenge. Is Wingfield going to try and make it 3 wide? Oh, Lazarov has dropped it, and Wingfield goes with him. And that's Custom Lench, who's just been caught up in that as well. But Gregory Leader goes through into 4th place and is now going to set his sights on Martin Clapper's Clapham. And meanwhile, just a little bit further down the field, we've had Ishmael Basso come up from 22nd on the grid to 9th, I think now. So brilliant first couple of laps for him. Carl Power equally making up good progress, 21st to 12th. For him on lap 1. Steve Ficacci not laid up too much ground, and we'll try and see where the rest of our championship leaders are. Bradley Philpott is currently, he's in the pits. He's had damage on the first lap. So disaster for our race 1 winner. And I haven't seen David Hatton come down the field. Actually, he's just crossed the timing line in 10th place. So the man who finished second in race 1 has been able to keep it clean so far and has made up 30 positions in the opening 2 laps. He's got up alongside Richard Molden, that is, through the Moss S, and he'll outbrake him down towards the upward curve. That's another place gained for Hatton. Carl Power is about to make a move on Custom Lemch. That is, and there's a bit of a pack coming through there. David Hatton making up more positions as he's side by side with Sam Harper on the way into the first corner, but it's Power moving up a place.
This is a fascinating scrap here between Hatton and Harper. Harper was the other man on the Missed Apex team in that 24-hour event. He is going to the outside here, and Hatton has made his way through because he's left the door open. 2 and 1 corner.
Jostling away there. I don't know how they think come to griefs on the way into Apple Curve, but Hatton making up a nice couple of positions there. I believe that is 6th place for him now, with Carl Power just in front of him. Darren Buckle there is a lap down in front of them in the Vodafone McLaren colours. Hatton's got to be careful here. He doesn't get caught out by Lemch, and Harper's up the inside of Lemch as well. That's 7th place for him. Gregory Leader is right up behind Adam Rosas for 2nd place now, and trying to offset him as they come through Williams corner. So this is potentially going to be a change for 2nd place. And I'll tell you what, Jared Carey is only 2.5 seconds up the road. So we really could see Gregory Leader take the race 2 win here. Jared Carey comes over the line to start lap 6. And Leader is in the slipstream as they come down the pit straight and towards the first corner once again. He's weaving his way down there, but he can't get the run he needs to get alongside him. Might be seeing the cars blinking in and out. Unfortunately, this is a reality of sim racing. We are somewhat reliant on the user's internet connection. But hopefully you're still seeing Adam Rosales clearly going wide through Atwood, and there goes Leader. That was perfect opportunistic driving. Although Rosales, he's going to fight him on the way out and down towards the hairpin corner. No, Leader's got him. Completely ahead of him now as they break towards, and I'll tell you what as well, they're only 1.8 seconds behind Jared Carey now. They both gained about 0.7 of a second on the Leader.
Yeah, that gap was up to 4.3 at one stage, so it's definitely tumbling down. It is not over for Kerry.
Whoa, bit of close call there between David Hatton and Carl Power, who I think has just made contact with Sam Harper as well as they go through Revolver corner. All look like, oh no, Power spun it out of Piper corner and backwards into the barriers, and he will probably be making a trip to the pits now.
Yeah, he's going to try and keep going, but I think he'll soon find that there's very little rear downforce on that car.
Down towards the braking zone at Atwood curve once more, and it's a big lockup for Jared Carey and gifts the lead to Gregory Leader. And Carey's got to be careful here because he's now going to come under pressure from Adam Rosales, who's going in the inside towards the hairpin corner once more. Drawing alongside, who's going to be bravest on the brakes? That Rosales goes through. So Jared Carey, with that one mistake, loses 2 positions. So half a lap to go. 2 seconds was Gregory Leader's advantage as they came over the line to start lap 10. And it's going to be honours to Gregory Leader for the race 2 victory. So 2 different winners, as we may have expected with our reverse grid format. But what a drive from David Hatton to come up from 40th to 4th. And as we saw, big drama on the opening lap. Bradley Philpott out of this one, our race 1 winner. But here comes Gregory Leader to take the win in race 2, the first of our reverse grid races in the Formula Renault 2.0 challenge. Adam Rosales picks up 2nd place ahead of Jared Carey, who completes the podium. David Hatton, our championship leader, a phenomenal drive from 40th on the grid. Sam Harper picks up 5th place ahead of Martin Clapham. And then Edward Shelley manages to pick up 7th position there ahead of Gary Thomas and Ishmael Basso. Here comes Richard Molden to collect the final position in the top 10, up from 19th on the grid. And Ian Erasmus on the front row of the grid. Erasmus has showed great pace in the MX-5 Cup. Is he going to be able to do the same in the Formula Renault 2.0 Challenge from second on the grid for this final race of the evening for the championship? It's the green flag, and pole man is away well, but Erasmus looking to challenge as they come towards the first corner, but Bagier is going strong as they go through. John McClintock getting around the outside in fourth place. There is a spinner in the back of the pack and nosed into the barriers, so unfortunate for him, but Philpott crucially has made a clean start. Still Bagier leading the way ahead of Erasmus, and they just got a slight advantage over Philpott, although I imagine that is very, very quickly going to be closed. And he'll sing it.
Sorry to cut across you, Chris. That's Bagier. He's spun out of the lead, getting on the power. And to come back to the leaders, we've got Philpott on the outside. Philpott's been taken out by Erasmus. I think the two were dicing into the final hairpins, and Philpott was on the outside. And it looks like Erasmus just understeered into it.
Drama for our championship leaders on the opening round of race 3. It is Ian Erasmus who leads, Anil Singh, and then Jelly Ooms in third place. And then Grant Bagier coming under big pressure. Philpott still right with him, as is Conor Meyer, I believe that is, in all of that as well. It is. He's getting up the inside now. As they go towards Williams, he's going to have the outside. There's Carl Power right up in the mix as well. And Alexander Derbitzberger, our original poleman. There's Matt Trumpets getting involved in it as well. It's just a gaggle of cars. Oh, Derbitzberger's off the road. I think he made contact there with Bagier. And there's another car going into the barriers as well. Derbitzberger over on his roof. Carl Power seemingly also about to make a move on Conor Meyer for 6th place. As they're heading towards the hairpin corner. Anil Singh is that off the road down at Atwood from 2nd place. We'll get confirmation of that as they go over the line. Power, meanwhile, up the inside for the hairpin and picks up the position. Wow, Matt Trumpets is involved in an absolute gaggle of cars coming down towards Revolver and Piper. So we'll try and make sense of all this. It looks like that's John Lang getting around the outside of Lucas Wallace. Actually, Lucas Wallace making up the position.
3 wide coming down straight. Harper is on the inside. There's about 5 cars in about 3 car lengths. This is very impressive stuff.
Darren Buckle, the back marker, getting involved in that as well. But it's Harper who comes out ahead on the way into the hairpin. Then it's John Lang, Danny Silva and Trumpets side by side as they go through Revolver. And Trumpets squeezed up on the curb and loses the back end. And now he's coming under pressure from Anil Singh once again. And there's Gregory Leader, our race 2 winner, who's now getting involved in this fight. Meanwhile, John Lang once again having to go defensive because here comes Danny Silva towards the outside, and Lang with that inside line in the number 48 car. He's been able to hold him off. But still Silva having a look up the inside and locks his brakes and loses a little bit of ground in doing so. But I've got to say, a lot of these guys having phenomenal comebacks. Oh, Lang just chopping across the nose there of Silva. Oh, and Silva just turned into the corner, and they're both off, and Singh gets caught right up in the middle of it as well. He's up on 2 wheels, and the big mess down at Redmond Corner. Side by side for the leader of the race. Jelly Ooms on the outside. He's braked deep and he's braked late. Is he going to be able to sell all the way around the outside? Erasmus with the tighter line hangs on, but Ooms is going to have the line now into the left-hander, and he gets the lead.
What a move there for a moves there. He just went straight around the outside, kept it going, and then was on the inside from the next corner. Wonderful move there.
Fernandez sweeps around the outside of John Lang at the Atwood curve. That car is definitely not performing at its best.
Yeah, he's lost a bit of top speed and a bit of downforce as well, which is never a good combination.
Yeah, you can just see, it's not stopping him having a look up the inside though at the hairpin. Good move from John Lang, although Fernandez is going to try and brave it out through the inside of Revolver. I think Lang's going to be able to sweep around the outside. Yes, he does. He's able to hold on to the position. Only just. And just a few corners to go now for Jelly Ooms to take a Missed Apex Motorsport victory for the first time. And I think he's about to do it. Only 3 corners to go for Ooms in the number 16 car. As Erasmus has got one last launch left in him. He was getting the back end out on the way out of Hobbs Corner. He might be able to drag to the finish line. He's got a really good run through the final corner, but I think Ooms is just going to take this one. So the top 3 really closed up on this final lap. And here comes Jelly Ooms to wrap up this maiden Formula Renault Challenge weekend with victory ahead of Ian Erasmus and Brad Philpott. Carl Power comes over the line in 4th place. A bit of a lonely race for him. Meanwhile, Sam Harper now coming over the final corner, and he takes 5th place. And it is going to be Lucas Wallace who continues to repel Gregory Leader to take 6th position. Edward Shelley in a very nice 8th place there. John Lang 9th. So brilliant defensive driving. And David Fernandez, your top 10.
So with 3 top 6 finishes during the first round at Okayama, it's Sam Harper who leads the championship after the first round on 107 points, 11 ahead of David Hatton, and Edward Shelley a further 2 points behind. Our Race 1 winner Bradley Philpott is in 6th place on 85 points. Our Race 2 winner Gregory Leader is in 8th position on 81 points. That's it from the first round at Okayama. The Missed Apex Formula Renault Challenge reconvenes at Silverstone National.